All right, super fun video for you here. We've got Omnisphere's new sonic extensions, and I just purchased Unclean machine and got it yesterday. I'm just trying some stuff out with it. So we'll go through it, have a look at some of the features of it, and help you decide if this is something you want to purchase. I've been an Omnisphere user ever since it first came out. I love the synthesizer. I love the browser. It's one of the best browsers out there. And it's made by one of the nicest guys. Eric Persing just seems like such a genuinely nice person. And I love what he does for his users. So these sonic extensions are very genre specific. This one here is geared towards the hip hop, synth, lo-fi, chill, neo-soul, all of those kind of genres of music. So let's just have a look at the browser for these sonic extensions and maybe at the interface of these sonic extensions as well. So I'm going to go over to Unclean Machine. So I'm only looking at my Unclean Machine patches. And when you click on a patch, you are going to get this new custom controls interface on the front of Omnisphere. And each one has 5 different scenes, and these are different variations of the same patch. And they've made these custom controls just for the patch that you're looking at. So they could change from one patch to another, which is really neat idea. And the one thing I was wondering is, can you go in and change the custom controls? Like, can we dig in behind the scenes of that? And of course we can. If you see something like this buzz right here, if I click on custom controls and go over to effects, you're going to find that buzz is one of these effects right here. Crank up that buzz, and if I turn off custom controls, there is that buzz thing happening right there. And if I click this little more button on this Unclean channel, and by the way, this Unclean channel is a specific new effect that comes with Unclean Machine, and it's something that you can use on all of your other sounds in Omnisphere. So not only do you get a whole bunch of patches and a whole bunch of sound sources, but you also get new effects specific to each sonic extension, which is really cool. The next thing we need, Spectrasonics, is the ability to put these effects on as insert effects in our DAW. That would be awesome. So hopefully one day we get the ability to use Omnisphere as an effect plugin, not just as an instrument. So now I go over to the Unclean channel. We can see this buzz amount right here. If I go to my custom controls and crank this down, now we go back over here, we can see that it's reflected in this effect. I'm already just in love with the browser of Omnisphere. I always have been. It's very easy. Just go over to pads and strings or something like this. Try a patch out. And you can also turn on the auto play, so it'll give you a little bit of a preview as you arrow down. And then, of course, we can now close this main browser and then click through the patches just with the arrow down button. So let's go over to Synth Mono, and then let's try this. And the beauty of browsing patches with Omnisphere and these new sonic extensions is you just arrow down to the next patch, but then you can also arrow to the right or left to try these different scenes out. So I arrow to the right. And next one. And I'll arrow down to the next patch. So maybe I want to go in here and change the filter a little, add some drive to it. And then maybe add a little bit more reverb. And then I can right-click on this free slot right here, this free scene, and I can go capture scene. And it's going to say overwrite free scene, and I say yes. And now what we've got is that patch saved as a custom setting for this little synthesizer. And now if I go back, and go back, it's all saved. So really brilliant way for you to go and dial in your own little custom sound and then save it as an additional scene. And then you can also make more changes to scenes. You can do whatever you want to it, and then you can right click and you can go capture scene, and you can overwrite any of the other scenes that have already been created on these patches. Try the next patch. Here's idea number 1. Let's have a listen. So everything you're hearing in here is actually from Unclean Machine, including the drums. All I did was load up an Omnisphere, electro percussion. All I need to do is put in a kick right at the beginning. And then now I can take this little waveform button, click it, drag that over to this sound slot right there, and there's my kick. So now I'll really quickly walk you through these patches on this one just to show you what I was using. And then in my last little idea, we'll actually go looking for a few more patches and let you hear some of the patches in this library. So the first one in here was just called Cassette EP. Here's that one right there. Beautiful sounding patch. And with this one, I went with the second scene. So before I go change anything, I should probably just right click this and go capture scene onto the free one so that I don't lose my settings in case I did something. I can't remember if I did something. Yes, I did a lot of stuff to it. So that was what that scene originally sounded like. I went through and tweaked some stuff to get the patch sounding a little bit longer. Here's the initial patch that you'd find if you were on the browser, the initial scene. You can see how much variety you can get just out of each single patch and how easy it is to go in and customize them. Next thing we've got a pad. And I'll show you how we can go and change some of the rhythmic aspects of some of these patches looking into the arpeggiator. We'll do that on a different little song. This one is the bass. Perfect bass patch. And then the lead sound that I've got in there is Ascension of the Flutes. But just beautifully made patches by Tolga Gurpinar, who is the sound designer for this Unclean Machine. So let's go look at another idea. So for this one, decided to go over to Ableton Live, try some stuff out on that for a little bit. I'm still kind of new to Ableton Live, but recently I did get a lesson from my good friend Sanjay C. So we got some stuff maybe coming up with that guy in the future, so make sure you stay tuned for that as well. Anyways, in this idea right here, I've got a little beat that I've made out of an Omnisphere patch, and this patch is called Battle of Wits. I've done some custom stuff to this. I'm going to capture this scene over here onto slot number 6. I'm going to show you how this one started out, and you click the custom controls off and go over to Arpeggiator. That's where I went and made some changes. So to begin with, this one actually had no swing. And I just wanted to put some swing in there, so all you gotta do is crank up the swing right here. And now this custom beat thing that's happening with the arpeggiator is going to be swung. Here I've got a snare, and all I did is load up a snare patch and just hit it on beat 2 and 4, and then I froze it because I did find that in Ableton, these patches were pushing my computer a little bit hard, but that's not gonna be a problem because I have a new MacBook Pro coming. That's right, stay tuned for a video on that, should be here in a couple weeks. Next, I've got this retro run patch, and this one was beautiful. Let me unfreeze this one. Next, we've got a glitch stream patch. I'll actually just play you the bass so you can hear what that sounds like. Undulator saw bass from Unclean Machine. And then the last one here, I've got a synthesizer loaded. So let's just play this whole idea. Shaky Bones lead. I love playing the pads on the Push 2. I'm going to do a video soon on my thoughts on the Push 2 controller, but it is really exciting playing with these different things and coming up with different patterns that you would normally not do on a keyboard. So again, just ways for me to break my creative ruts. So Anyways, that's my Ableton Push idea. Let's go try one more idea on the machine. Okay, so for this idea, I'm going to start a little bit more from scratch. I had something down as an idea, but let's just go and build something together. So if I go over to Retroland, that's where I found this tape Solo Boy. Let's just try some of the other patches out. I can just arrow up and down. Let's do a little bit Halloween style, because, you know, it's Halloween and all. Let's try some of the different scenes out on that one. Very different sound. All right, let's put a kit in there. I've got a kit loaded from Crate Cuts, which is one of my favorite Native Instruments expansions. I'll put a link to the video that I've done on that one in the description. We'll go over to synth, bass. That's fun. Let's go with that one. And then let's try the different scenes out. Arrow to the right. And you can see how the controls are very different from the other synths we were looking at. Oh, that's good. And then we can just keep arrowing to the right and we'll go back to the beginning. Oh, I kind of like... Okay, so let's go find something a little bit plucky, bells and vibes. I like this drift. Let's crank up the drift on this one. Give it that spooky Halloween vibe, right? Synth poly for this one. So we got the cheese brass. Let's try a different one. Oh, this is getting kind of organ territory. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, let's see. Last thing we need is some kind of funky lead sound. Oh, I like that a lot. Let's go to slot A here, and we'll just try putting on one of our new reverbs. We'll go to Sonic Extensions, and there is Unclean Verb. We got more even. I like it. I think that gives you a good idea of what's in these sonic extensions. Tons of stuff to play with. I'm super impressed with them. Going to definitely be checking out some of the other ones. Wish I had purchased them at the same time so I would have got the discount. But regardless, very nice patches, nice effects, nice sound sources. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell because I'll be doing more of these in the future. We'll see you in the next video. Oh, and happy Halloween.